Hello guys and welcome back to another Premier League predictions video. Today we return with the sort of new winter break they've implemented where the 10 fixtures are actually played over 2 weekends. So this is all fixture 21, but we won't have a video next week as the remainder of these games are played next Saturday. So the fixture actually kicks off on Saturday with Chelsea against Fulham, but I'm actually recording this on Friday night when Burnley are taking on Luton, which is down in game 5, but we're just going to go through the fixture in the order that you see it on screen. So kicking off with Chelsea against Fulham. Despite Chelsea being in pretty average form at the moment and losing during the week to Middlesbrough in the Cup, I have gone for them to win by 2-0. Fulham not very good on the road, Chelsea a lot better at home, and their record against Fulham over recent years is very good. It's the same scoreline that Chelsea beat Fulham at Craven Cottage, so I'm hoping that is going to come in once again. Game 2 sees Newcastle hosting Manchester City, and quite a big game at the top, although Newcastle have of course massively fallen off. Feels as if City are starting to hit their stride. Of course, De Bruyne is back. Newcastle still got a lot of injuries. Although their home form is good, I have gone for Man City to win this by 3-1. Then we've got a couple of games on Sunday, starting with Everton against Aston Villa, where I've gone for Emery's side to win by 2-1. They've not been in quite as good form as they were over the sort of Christmas period and before that, but Everton's home form actually has been pretty poor recently, so I've gone for Villa to win. Another big game on Sunday with Manchester United hosting Tottenham. United in really poor form, but again they're much better at home than they are away from home. But with that in mind, I've still gone for Tottenham to win by 2-1. As I say, United generally very good at home, but I was looking at this fixture as sort of a one-off rather than the history of the fixture, and I think Spurs are just a better team, which is why I've gone for them to win. And then game 5, which is technically the final game of this set of fixtures, although it is taking place on Friday night between Burnley and Luton, and I've gone for a 1-1 draw in this game. In the reverse fixture at Kenilworth Road, it was quite a close game. There was late goals at the end which saw Burnley win it by 2-1, but it was 1-1 heading into the final sort of 10 minutes or so. So I've gone for a draw once again, as I think Luton have been playing pretty well recently. Then as we head into game 6, this is where the fixture splits, so we're heading into next weekend's fixtures, and we kick off on Saturday with Arsenal against Crystal Palace. Of course, the Gunners not in very good form at the moment, although I have gone for them to win just by a 1-0. Crystal Palace not great on the road and having a pretty average season. I think Arsenal will get back to winning ways, but Palace will certainly make it hard for them. Game 7 sees a struggling Brentford taking on Nuno's Nottingham Forest, and I've gone for Forest to win by 2-1. A lot of people going for a 1-1 draw in this one, but I'm actually basing this off Nuno's one away game that he's had in charge, which was at Newcastle, and he set up perfectly in that game. I have a feeling he's going to do the same again here. He was very good in those away games when he was in charge at Wolves, so I've gone for Forest to win. I think it'll be a close game, but with the form that they're in, I've gone for them just to edge out Brentford. Then we head into Sunday as the Blades host West Ham at Bramall Lane. Of course, the team that we're doing our career mode with at the moment, although they're not doing quite so well in real life. Struggling down at the bottom of the table at the moment, and I've gone for West Ham to win. They've had a pretty good run in their last few games, beating Arsenal and United both to 0. And then they had that 0-0 draw at home to Brighton, which was a pretty awful game, but 3 clean sheets in a row. I've gone for them to get another here. And although I think Sheffield United will put up a fight, of course, I think West Ham will have too much for them, although they have got a lot of injuries at the moment. And game 9 sees a very informed Bournemouth hosting Liverpool. Tough game for both sides. I think Liverpool will be favourites given the current sort of standings, but Bournemouth have been very, very good this season. They've really picked it up after a slow start, and I think Iraola deserves some prop for that. But on this occasion, I have gone for Liverpool to win once again. They have a very good record against Bournemouth, generally winning most of their games, and I think the trend will continue continue here, although it will be a tie game. I've gone for just the 2-1 victory. And then game 10 on Monday, the final of this 2-week fixture, sees Brighton hosting Wolverhampton Wanderers, a game that generally has a lot of goals in it. If you have a look through the recent fixtures, there's been a lot of goals in these games. So I've gone for that again with Brighton 3, Wolves 2. Wolves away form isn't great, whilst Brighton's home form is good, but both of them have been shipping quite a lot of goals, hence why I've gone for a big scoreline. It's a little bit of a punt. It probably won't be 3-2, but if it does come in, it's a great shout. And our joker for this sort of 2-week stint was a really tough one, with Manchester City not necessarily having a banker away at Newcastle, Man United and Tottenham facing each other, Liverpool tough game away at Bournemouth. So I was sort of torn between Arsenal v Palace and Chelsea v Fulham, with Arsenal not in great form. I have taken a bit of a risk and I've gone for Chelsea beating Fulham by 2-0, with the inconsistencies at Chelsea this year and a little bit of tension starting to build up after that semi-final first leg loss to Middlesbrough. It's a bit of a risk, but I have gone for Chelsea to beat Fulham as my joker for this week. So let's head over to the website. We'll take a quick look at where we are after game week 20, as we haven't seen it for a little while. And also, I will quickly update you on the FA Cup third round. So as I say, I'll keep this pretty short as I want to take a quick look at the FA Cup as well. And it has been a couple of weeks since we were focusing on the Premier League, but pretty good reading. As you can tell, we are solo third place at the moment. Bit of a gap ahead of us to second place, 4 points, and then a further 6 to the leader. So quite a big gap ahead of us, and it's very tight below us down to 7th. But there is a little bit of a gap starting to appear. We've been on a very good run, and we are most certainly in the mix. I had an okay week in fixture 20, which I think sums up most people's performance. You can see the leader on 13, and then you've got 11, 10, couple of 9s, 8s, and then lots of 7s and 6s. We were sort of grouped in the middle here. So we had a pretty average week, but it could have been a lot worse. And you can see the breakdown of these scores here. Good 3-pointer for Nottingham Forest beating Man United. We also had Liverpool to beat Newcastle and Aston Villa to beat Burnley. And of course, our joker was Manchester City, where a lot of people were hoping for more goals. I had 3-0, so I was certainly closer than the people who had 4s and 5s. If City had just taken one of those extra chances that they had and just pushed a little bit more for that third goal, a 6-pointer would have been crucial to move us up in the standings. But as I say, pretty happy with where we are, and we will just end today's episode with taking a very quick look at how we got on in the FA Cup third round. And the FA Cup's actually split into 2 groups, so there's actually less people in this than the Premier League predictions, but there is 2 groups. But you can see prize money, first, second and third do end up making some money back. But it's not been a very good start for us at the moment. I'm not too worried about it though. Currently sat, third bottom with 22 points. But in the early rounds, it's only 1 point for each correct prediction that you get. So this progresses pretty quickly, and the most important thing is just getting those bonus teams through. And as you can see at the moment, we've still got 6 in the mix, although Newport do have to face a cup replay against Eastleigh, which I'm hoping they'll get through, because then they're definitely going to lose to United in the next round if they do get there, which is absolutely fine by me, being my lowest place bonus team. Kind of a full breakdown here. We did pretty well on our bonus teams. Man City, Chelsea, Southampton, Coventry and Ipswich all going through, and us predicting them correct. It was just that Newport v Eastleigh game, which Newport really should have won, and I'm hoping they will win the replay. But yeah, pretty decent scores overall, but there weren't really any major cup sets, so everyone who went for the standard, as you would expect, predictions like Callum did, picked up a lot of points in this round. He's currently sat top, but as I say, I'm not worried. I'm experienced in how the FA Cup works, having done it over the last probably 4 or 5 years or so, and as I say, the most important thing is getting those bonus teams through, and it's the later rounds where it really picks up, so not too worried to be down at the bottom for now. But that is where we will end it, guys. little bit of a longer look at the league website towards the end of today's episode. But of course, we won't have one next week, as I've already mentioned. This game week fixture is actually spread over 2 weekends, so we will have no upload next Saturday. But we'll be back the following week, and we've still got lots to get through before the end of the season with the Premier League and the FA Cup, and we'll also have summer predictions this year with the Euros. Seems a long way off, but it will absolutely fly by. Anyway, I'm rambling now, so I will catch you in the next episode very soon, guys, and peace.